Tukikuja habari ya mafuta inaitwa government to government. Kutoka upande ule pale mafuta inatoka, ile kampuni ambayo zinahusishwa ni ya serikali. Lakini ikija Kenya ni kampuni ambao sa Ruto na watu wake. Kwa nini hakutumia Kenya Pipeline? Kwa nini hakutumia National Oil Corporation?
The leader of Green Movement, that is David Maraga, yesterday toured Bungoma County. And Maraga begins by encouraging the people of Bungoma to register as voters come 2027 so that they can have numbers to enable William Samoei Ruto gets out of the power.
We've come to Bungoma, as we have done in several other towns in the country, to urge Kenyans to register as voters. To register as voters because it is critical in the vote of next year. We know where we are as a country. The economy is in shambles. The systems are broken down. The state capture that we have is beyond what anybody would say, and as a result, very many things are going on very, very badly, and that is creating a lot of problem for our people in the country.
And Maraga touched on one thing. Maraga touched on fuel prices and the so-called G2G government. And he is clear that this deals that is happening G2G government has nothing to do with the government of Kenya, but it has to do with the proxy, the so-called the companies that William Samoei Ruto run in this Republic of Kenya. It's not even G2G. It is G government to William Samoei Ruto, not G2G.
Tukikuja habari ya mafuta inaitwa government to government. Kutoka upande ule pale mafuta inatoka, ile kampuni ambayo zinahusishwa ni ya serikali. Lakini ikija Kenya ni kampuni ambao sa Ruto na watu wake. Kwa nini hakutumia Kenya Pipeline? Kwa nini hakutumia National Oil Corporation? Hizo ndizo kampuni za serikali, lakini anatumia sake, na imesemekana wazi ya kwamba anafaidika kutoka kwa hapo. Lazima Ruto aondolewe kwa mamlaka ili Kenya ianze kufanya mambo yake bila inatakikana na katiba. Sisi kama United Green Movement tunataka hii serikali itoke ili turudi kufuata katiba yetu. Turudi kuchenga uchumi wetu ambao umesharoteka. Hakuna kitu ambao Ruto amefanya ameanzisha ambao achinufaisi yeye mwenyewe. Fikiria sha. Kwa nini hakutumia ICT authority? Anakuja na kampuni ambao hakuna interest hapo, na watu yako wako na interest. Hii Citizen same housing, affordable housing the same, affordable housing. Wale ambao waletea chuma ni kampuni ambao Ruto wako na interest, pamoja hata na cement. Wafanyabiashara wengine wamewachwa nje. Uwezi kuwa na serikali ambao inachinufaisha wakati wananchi wanaangamia.
And guys, before I give you the interpretation of Maraga on this fuel and William Samoei Ruto's business, let's listen him a bit on this, the issue of police and goonism. We all understand that when the Gen Z were protesting in this country, we happen to see goons being escorted by police. We happen to see goons were even using the police land cruisers. At the long run, these goons decided now to rob, to steal from the people, and others even to maim the people in Nairobi CBD. And now, after the culture who is now inspector of police amekuja amesema, oh, these goons, we are not associated with them. Maraga is clear that these goons are working hand in hand with the police. There is no way, sasa, after things are now escalating, you can now jump the other side and start to say, we don't know, even we don't associate with this goonism activity.
I mean, hii hao wauni ambao wanatumika walianza wakati ule wa 2024 demonstrations, wakakuja 2025 demonstrations. Tuliwaona Nairobi wanatembea pamoja na polisi. I mean, hiyo sio kitu ambao unaweza kuuliza, hata mtoto anaweza kukuambia hao watu wanafanya kazi pamoja. Serikali, I mean, polisi hawezi kuonekana wako na side by side na goons na hakuna kitu ilifanyika. Walipomaliza kazi yao, walianza kuterrorize wananchi, walianza kuiba, sababu waliona sasa wako kwa mamlaka na hakuna mtu ambaye anahusiana na wao. Hii tumeona ya kupigwa kwa Senator Ososi na tumezungumzia hayo mambo, tunailaumu kabisa. Hii ni kitu ambayo imetayarishwa na serikali. Imetayarishwa na serikali. PS internal security ametajwa na kila mtu. Na hiyo kama serikali yenyewe ndio inahusishwa. Na kwa sababu ya kusema hivyo ni kwamba hatuoni hatua ambayo inachukuliwa ya maana kwa hao watu. Tunalaumu hiyo sababu tukiendelea hivyo na tunaenda kwa kura inaweza kuleta madhara. Ruto's government is literally perpetrating economic terrorism on the Kenyan people. And that has to be stopped. If you look at the taxes, everything that...
Now guys, let's look at this interpretation critically. David Maraga was the former Chief Justice of this Republic of Kenya. And David Maraga did something that actually it remains in memory of Kenyans to date. After nullifying the presidential election in 2013. And Maraga, if he talks that these things according to law, it's not government to government, we all ought to agree. I did a video on this channel explaining how Ndindi Nyoro is exposing these people that are buying money counting machine on expense of Kenyan suffering. There is nothing like G to G that is happening in this country. Ruto is doing business with the people of Kenya. And these things I normally talk to it daily. President Ruto, we elected not a president in power, but we elected a businessman in power. Even this house levy, it's not something to do with the economic transformation or rather infrastructure changing the face of Kenya. This is the business. The companies that supply the so-called cement, the company that supply steels, this is called metals, chuma, the company that supply, let me say, even bricks, the company that supply everything in that the so-called housing program, it is linked to William Samoei Ruto. That's why I listened one day to Esther Passaris. Let me say that Edwin Sifuna is bitter to William Samoei Ruto because he is doing business with the Kenyans. Like all house levy, it is proxy of William Samoei Ruto. That is dangerous as a nation. So the only thing that Ruto ought to do, these things that you append bills when things is very high, you go then you say you have now appended this bill tumerudisha chini. 16% VAT on fuel zinaingirisiwa tu, that these people increasing so that at least they can now reap more profit. Sometimes in a business, it is not that you to go to get more profit and people that are buying that commodities are suffering. You also at least try to look which profit margin am I making? Like in oil or rather the fuel, if you make a profit margin of 5 shillings, then look at the customers that come to buy this oil. There are a lot in this Republic of Kenya. Even though you will get a profit of 5 shillings and 2 million people have bought that oil that day, that is a lot of money. You can make a profit of 10 million per day. So there is no way that, so this fuel, you want also to make, you double a profit. You will be just making Kenyans to suffer most. So the message that Maraga was trying to pass to William Samoei Ruto is just clear. Work for Kenyans. Don't take Kenyans to be your business hub. At least try as much as you can. Be presidential, not just presidential, but be a leader. A leader is the one who tries as much as possible to give a solution, not to do what? To kuumiza those people that is leading. That is my thought, guys. What is your thought? Drop it in comment section. I'll be doing my best to read it and giving you a response. And with that, guys, peace and love.
And with that, guys, thank you for choosing Kenya Political Brief as our primary news platform, more so on politics. Kindly please share this video to a friend. If politics is your passion, this is the place you really wish to be. Kindly subscribe. Bye bye.